እሺ በዚህ አጋጣሚ እዚህ ተወልደው ያደጉ ልጆቻችን ወይም ታናናሽ ወንድሞቻችን በብዛት የምታያቸው ናቸውና አንድ ጊዜ ለነሱ ሞራል ስጡልን እባካችሁ፣ ሞራል ስጡልን። ይህን ዝግጅት በማዘጋጀትም ከፍተኛውን አስተዋጽኦ በማበርከት ከፊት በመጣት ትልቅ ስራ ሰርተዋልና አንዴ ድገሙልን እባካችሁ። ቴንኪው። እዚሁ መልእክት እየተናገርን ነው። በመካከላችሁ ጆርናሊስቶች ምናምን ቢመጡ ወደዚህ እንድትመሯቸው፣ ሲቀሩትም ፎቶ ሲያነሱም እባካችሁ እንደዚህ እንድትልኩልን አደራ እንላለን። የተዘጋጁላቸው ሰዎች ስላሉ መልእክቱን በአግባቡ እንዲያስተላልፉልን።
Zinash. Okay, so the page is front and back. So look at the first page. No, forget that.
እንግዲህ ታዳሚዎቻችን ጊዜያችሁን ሰውታችሁ ተገኛችሁ ምስጋናችንን እያቀረብን ከዚህ በኋላ እንግዲህ
so this one goes
ኦፊሻል የሆነው ፕሮግራማችንን ሴሬሞኒ አጠቃላይ የፕሮቴስቱን የራሊውን እንቅስቃሴ ስኬጁሉን ኢቨንቱን በተመለከተ ለማሳወቅ ነው። እንግዲህ በመካከላችን የተገኙ የሃይማኖት አባቶች ካሉ እነሱ እንሰጣለን፣ ወደዚህ እንዲመጡልን ጥሪ እናቀርባለን። ከነሱ በኋላ በመካከላችን የምትገኘው እናታችን ዓለም የምትመለከቱት እዚህ የተደረደሩት ወገኖቻችን በወለጋ፣ በባሌ፣ በሻሸመኔ እንዲሁም በመተከል በማይካድራ ተገለው ተጨፍጭፈው ለመቀበር እድል ያላገኙ የንጹሃን ዜጎች አስክሬን ነው። የንጹሃን የአማራ ልጆች አስክሬን ነው። እንደምታየው ህፃናትም በብዛት እንደተገደሉ የምታስታውሱት ነው። ዜናም በየዕለቱ የምንሰማው ጉዳይ ስለሆነ እንግዲህ እነዚህን መቅበር እንኳን ቢያቅተን እነሱን ለማሰብ ሀዘናችንን እንወጣለን ማለት ነው። ይሄንን ሀዘናችንን የመወጣት ባህላዊ ስነ ስርዓት የምታካሄድልን እናታችን ዓለም ወደሷ እንቀጥላለን። ከዛ በኋላ የሚኖረን እንግዲህ በመካከላችን እህታችን ዝናሽ ወደዚህ ትመጣና የኮኦርዲኔተር አጠቃላይ የእንግሊሽ ስቴትመንቱን ታሰማናለች። ከዛ ከሷ በኋላ እዚህ ተወልደው ያደጉት ወጣት ልጆቻችን ወንድሞቻችን በየተራ እየመጡ ሀሳባቸውን በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ እየተደረገ ያለውን የጄኖሳይድ የአማራ ሕዝብ ጭፍጨፋን በተመለከተ ያላቸውን መልእክት ያስተላልፋሉ። ከዛም በመካከላችን ወንድማችን ጸጋ አለ። ወንድማችን ጸጋ ባህላዊ የሆነውን እንጉርጉሮ ያሰማናል ማለት ነው። እሱን እንደጨረስን ሁላችንም ተያይዘን ፎርዛ ብለን ይዘን በቀጥታ ወደ ስፔስ ኒድል ነው የምንሄደው። በስፔስ ኒድል ኮመን ኒውስ ሚዲያ አካባቢ ትንሽ ቆይታ እናደርጋለን። እዛም እንደዚሁ ስነ ስርዓቶች ይኖራሉ። እዛ ስንደርስ የምናስተዋወቃችሁ ነው የሚሆነው። እጅግ አድርገን እናመሰግናለን በድጋሚ እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልን። አሁን ወደ እናታችን ዓለም ነው የምንሄደው።
ልጆች አሉ፣ ቤተሰቦች አሉ። ስለ ቤተሰቦቻችን፣ ስለ ልጆቻችን፣ ስለ ሀገራችን እናንስ። ዛሬ ስሙን ነቻለ የተለመነውን አልደርስም ብሎሻለ ወይ ልጆቼን እኔ አልቻልኩም አንጀቴን አይተናነ ናይ በቃም ወይ በሻሸመኔን በማይካድራን በመተከል ናይ በቃም ወይ አልቻልኩም እኔ አልቻልኩም እናት አለምዬ እኔ አልቻልኩልሽም እኔ አልቻልኩም አልቻልኩም
እሺ እጅግ በጣም ስሜት የሚነካ ነው። ሁላችንም ስሜታችን ሰብሰብ ብናድርገው በማልቀስ ብቻ የምንጓዘው እና የምንታገለው የወደፊት ዕጣ ፈንታ አይኖረንም። ብዙ ስራ ይጠብቀናል። ህጻናት እየታረዱ ነው። ህጻናት እየተገደሉ ነው። እርጉዝ እናቶች ሆዳቸው እየተቀደደ ለዓለም ህዝብ ብናሳየው እንደ ሀገር የሚያሳፍር እንደ ሀገር የሚያሸማቅቅ ጉድ እየተሰራ ነው ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ። ከዚህ በኋላ ግን የምንታገስበትን የህልውናችን አደጋ ጊዜ የማይሰጠው ስለሆነ የዓለም ማህበረሰቡን ያውቅልን እንፈልጋለን። መሞታችን ብቻ ሳይሆን በገደሉን በአስክሬኖቻችን ዶክመንት ኮምፓይል እየተደረገ ክስ እየቀረበ በዓለም አቀፍ ድርጅቶች ውስጥ ገዳይ ሟችን እየወቀሰ እየከሰሰ ያለበት ሁኔታ ስለሆነ ያለው እጅግ በጣም የሀገራችን አጠቃላይ የፖለቲካ ጉዞ ምሬት ውስጥ የከተተ ስለሆነ ሁላችንም በአንድነት ለሰውነት ስንል የአማራ ህዝብ ማለት በኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የራሱን ባህል፣ ቋንቋ፣ ማንነት እንዲሁም እምነት፣ ታሪክ ሰርቶ አጋርቶ ተጋምዶ የኖረ ማህበረሰብ ነው። ይህንን ማህበረሰብ ለማጥፋት የሚደረገው ማንኛውም ዘመቻ የኢትዮጵያን ህዝብ እንደማጥፋት ነው። የሰውን ልጅን ለማጥፋት እንደመሞከር ይቆጠራል። ስለዚህ ሁላችንም በአንድ ላይ ልንቆም ይገባል። እጅግ አድርገን እናመሰግናለን። ዋን ሞር ታይም ስታፕ አማራ ጄኖሳይድ! 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 ቀኛችሁ ነው ቀኝቻችሁ። ስታፕ አማራ ጄኖሳይድ! 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 እሺ፣ ከዚህ በመቀጠል እህታችን ዝናሽ እንግሊሽ ስቴትመንቷን ታቀርባለች። በጽሞና እናዳምጣለን።
ለህዝባችሁ ድምፅ መሆን እጅግ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። አሁን ደግሞ በእንግሊሽ እቀጥላለሁ። አማርኛ ትንሽ ከባድ ነው፣ ይቅርታ። Hello and thank you everyone for being here. My name is Zinash. I'm a Seattle resident, an Ethiopian American, and a proud Amara. Today, we have all gathered here to not only create awareness on the ongoing Amara genocide, but to demand it stops. Amaras are being killed weekly, not because they're Ethiopian, but simply because they're Amara. As some of you may know, I have been publicly and proudly advocating for our people because I've noticed nobody has called this genocide out in our communities. Instead of acknowledging the truth and working together to put a stop and halt to this genocide, it has been ignored. I can't and we can't continue to allow the Ethiopian government, the US government, Western and international media, and the Ethiopian community to disregard it any longer. I'm tired of people who are so pro-Ethiopian and human rights and act as though the Amara genocide is not of their concern. I am tired of the silent elitist Amaras who live comfortably here and have the privilege to ignore their own people dying. Any Ethiopian who cannot acknowledge their privilege while acknowledging they have no place to speak against the disenfranchised Amaras who face violence every day is simply brainwashed with an unfortunate case of identity crisis. We must apply pressure by creating consciousness and work on saving and rehabilitating our people. We must continue to demand the barbaric atrocities, slaughters, and weekly massacres stop until they stop. We must remind ourselves that this could be us. Imagine living in Oromia, Matakan, Walaga, Benishangul, Ataya, and Makaidra, where innocent people are killed every day, specifically because they're Amara. We are fortunate enough to live in a place where human life is valued, and we too should scream the same for our people with no shame. Let me remind you all that the attempts to exterminate the Amara ethnic group did not start today, and every single one of us is lucky to be here. The Amara genocide did not start a few weeks ago, or even a few months ago, not even a few years ago. It started with the fascist invasion in 1935 under Benito Mussolini, calling for the exterminations of Amaras, because they saw Amaras as their greatest obstacle for colonizing Ethiopia. It also continued in Walgait and Raya in the 80s. After the 1991 government change and TPLF came into power, the indigenous Amara people became a scapegoat for problems the country faced, like how the Jews were executed in Germany after Hitler came to power. Though this was followed by mass killings, displacement, imprisonment, and torture of Amaras. The TPLF regime, who implemented ethnic federalism, which is a federalist system of national government in which the federated units are defined and segregated by ethnicity, using redlining policies and in certain cases partitioning multi-ethnic regions, causing internal displacement and loss of people specifically focused on the Amara ethnic group. The suppression of Amara identity, criminalizing Amara identity, and calling for the extermination of Amaras in their TPLF manifesto by committing a silent genocide to weaken and dismantle the Amara ethnic group. TPLF has killed millions of Ethiopians in the last 27 years while targeting Amaras, yet we still stand strong. The Amara population lost more than 2.5 million people between 1994 and 2007 in census compared to the projections. This was discussed in 2011 Parliament by the Census Committee Chair, Ms. Samira. The Census Committee Chair brought in Harvard experts to confirm the accuracy of the statistics, and according to the experts, the stats look accurate. However, they could not explain the discrepancy of the 2.5 million missing Amaras and stated that there is an obvious systematic reduction in the number of Amaras. In attempts to continue the Amara population from growing, a mass sterilization was forced upon young Amara women by TPLF. Pharmaceutical Funds and Supply Agency, PFSA, was established in September 2007 by TPLF Proclamation number 553. As a government agency, PFSA was tasked with the role of administrating every drug-related issue in the country. The mastermind behind the mass sterilization of Amara women was TPLF member Haile Selassie Bihon. After he became the director of PFSA, one of the first tasks he completed was to continue TPLF's genocidal mission against the Amaras. Mr. Bihon deliberately sent short-acting contraceptives, Depo-Provera pills, to the Bahardar's PFSA branch office with an order to the Amara Regional Health Bureau to immediately distribute to the Amara region as if it were free birth control, but instead it stopped women from conceiving babies. This inhumane and barbarous cruelty by the fascist TPLF regime is a deliberately designed project to depopulate the Amara people and eliminate the Amara race from the Earth's surface. But again, we still stand strong.
We still stand strong.
We still stand strong.
Ethnic federalism is the root cause of what we were seeing happening today. Again, the genocide did not just start, but instead has resurfaced. It has now transformed into a full-scale humanitarian crisis, especially in the past 3 years, and notably after the assassination of Hachalu Hundessa, rest in peace. This spiked and furthered extremism in Ethiopia. We have seen an alarming increase of Amaras being ethnically targeted. Hundreds of thousands have been displaced, tens of thousands have been beheaded, stabbed, slaughtered, shot, and killed while unarmed, leaving many children without parents. Amaras are consistently massacred in the most barbaric way possible. Pregnant mothers killed and their fetuses removed. Babies killed who don't even know their mother or what Ethiopia or Amara identity is. Innocent people, children, poor farmers continue to face an ongoing genocide specifically because they're Amara. All of this is happening with clear-cut evidence, graphic images, and videos posted by their killers, the OLF terrorist group and Gumas militias. Oromo extremists who have incited hate violence through mass media and ultra-ethnocentric extremists utilizing the weapons of mass destruction at their disposal, backed by Onik Shene. In 2018, the Oromo Regional Party, led by Abiy Ahmed, took control of the federal government. After this leadership change, 3 years ago, more than 1.5 million Amaras have been internally displaced as of last year. More than 20,000 Amaras have been killed in mass by modern weapons, machetes, and spears in Oromia and Benishangul region. The terrorist group OLF and Oromia Special Forces continue to openly and proudly commit ethnic cleansing of Amaras while posting selfies and videos online. This February, Guma's regional government admitted that senior-level government officials were complicit in supporting the Gumas militias and targeting and killing Amaras in Matakan. Which is a clear indication of the state and regional sponsored genocide and the failure to protect the people. In the last 2 years, I have witnessed the most graphic images I have ever seen in my life. Human bodies treated like dirt, innocent lives of Amara slaughtered and put into plastic bags without an honorable burial. Can you imagine your parents, siblings, or family members being discarded like trash without proper burial? Where is the anger and the outcry from the world? Where is the concern and reporting from the U.S. government, U.S. Foreign Affairs, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and international news media? We demand you show your integrity and professionalism in journalism and expose the ongoing Amara genocide. Why hasn't the World Food Program helped the displaced? Why is the New York Times and the Washington Post failing to report while seeing clear evidence? Oh, and Secretary Blinken, I haven't forgot about you. We demand you acknowledge and report the truth and prove you have no bias. Show us you have ethics and moral standards. Secretary Blinken, take back your previously made dangerous statements that amplify the genocide and apologize to the Ethiopian people. Most importantly, where is the accurate reporting, the statements, the concerns, and the immediate action from the Ethiopian government and the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission? Why do they fail to report on these atrocities? The Ethiopian government has not only demonstrated their lack of leadership and care to take the necessary actions to protect Amara civilians, but they have shown their support to these terrorist groups and militias. Leaders from the Ethiopian government and Shimallis Abdisa, who took part and incited, supported the Amara genocide, need to be brought to the International Criminal Court to face justice for the ethnic cleansing and extreme human rights violations of Amaras.
Bring him to justice! Bring him to justice! Bring him to justice! Bring him to justice!
The protection of civilians must be a priority, and ethnic federalism should be immediately dismantled and changed to a constitution where all Ethiopians are treated equally and can live peacefully without feeling like second-class citizens in their own country. This ethnic-based system has divided and clearly failed the Ethiopian people. Sitting back and neglecting the concerns of the Amara and Amara genocide is pushing us all back from achieving true peace in all corners of Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa. My message to all Ethiopians all over the world is to stand up for Amaras that are being massacred every day in Ethiopia based on their identity. Every single Ethiopian has a responsibility to speak up and let the world know about the ongoing ethnic cleansing of Amaras. We have a responsibility to demand and apply pressure until it stops. Understand that when you stand for the Amara people, you are standing with Ethiopia. You also amplify Ethiopianism. You are protecting Ethiopia's unity. Amaras are unison-loving Ethiopians that cannot be broken. Amaras are and have always been Ethiopian first. They have died for the country proudly, but Ethiopia can no longer be built on the blood of Amaras. Donate to rehabilitate our people. Break your silence and understand that our voices are critical to the survival of Amaras. And thank you. Next up, we have some young youth here who are going to speak. Our first speaker is going to be Dagam. Dagam, come to the front. So Dagam, if you guys don't know who Dagam is, he previously went to the last Ethiopian and Eritrean protest here in Seattle in support of the Ethiopian and Eritrean government. While Dagam went there, he went there to create awareness, as any other Ethiopian, on the ongoing ethnic cleansing of Amaras. But he was pushed away by his own people, trying to silence and censor him for speaking up for his own people. We can't allow that to happen ever again. This is why we're here today, to encourage Ethiopians to speak up. Amaras are Ethiopian, and we cannot be silenced. And Dagam, I want to tell you publicly that I'm so proud of you for being fearless. You're standing with the Amara people. You're standing with the innocent people. And I know that you've been a great example, and slowly these people will wake up. But you were on the right side, and there's nothing that you did wrong. And any Ethiopian that pushed Dagam away that day should be embarrassed of themselves for doing something like that to a young Ethiopian brother. So again, everybody, go Dagam! Thank you.
I appreciate your kind words, and thank you, Sisters Zanash and everybody that helped to organize this protest. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm not used to speaking on a microphone, but it's going to be real short. Zanash said everything really well. I appreciate everything she said again. But just to start off, for anybody that is around this area of Westlake Park and is not aware about what's going on in Ethiopia, I'm just going to give a brief rundown summary about it. Ethiopia's Amhara ethnic group have endured ethnic cleansing since at least the 1980s. Even though they are the second largest ethnic group, their voice continues to be completely silenced when it comes to addressing human rights issues. Now there is a genocide on Amhara people in the Oromia and Benishangul regions of Ethiopia.
A little louder, yeah.
Yeah, I'll start over. Ethiopia's Amhara ethnic group have endured ethnic cleansing since at least the 1980s. Even though they are the second largest ethnic group, their voice continues to be completely silenced when it comes to addressing human rights issues. Now there's a genocide on Amhara people in the Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz regions of Ethiopia. The Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Oromia President Shimelis Abdisa must be held responsible. OLF/OLA and TPLF need to be completely eradicated. Back in November 2020, over 800 Amhara people were massacred in a northern Ethiopia town called Maikadra. The perpetrators were affiliated with the terrorist group TPLF, which held political power until very recently. A lot of the victims were defenseless, children, and women. Another place Amhara people are being ethnically targeted is in Ethiopia's Oromia region. Even though Amharas have been living there for decades, they are now seen as settlers that do not belong to that region. On a weekly basis, it seems that they are being massacred in large numbers, but no big media outlets are shedding light on the atrocities. Just last week, OLA killed more than 70 innocent Amhara children within a single day. The Ethiopian federal government and Oromia's regional government is either turning a blind eye or assisting the continuation of this genocide upon Amhara people. The international community needs to be aware of the Amhara genocide. And if you are interested, please visit Amhara_awareness on Instagram or visit amharaamerica.org/donate. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your patriotism. Thank you. We love you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Next up, we have Fomi, who has been a great advocate for the youth. She's been advocating aggressively and publicly and proudly for Amaras. She's from the Seattle area. Thank you, Fomi. Here you go.
It's kind of long, but we Amharas have proven over and over again, as long as we live, Ethiopia will prevail. Maybe that's why our enemies grow as the day continues. Any enemy of Ethiopia becomes enemies of her little children, the Amharas. However, Ethiopia will not prosper in Amhara blood. Your trees won't grow if it's Amhara blood that's raining. Its women's body needs to be protected until it's an Amhara mother who gets raped by so many different old left soldiers she bleeds to death. Its woman's body needs to be protected until it's an Amhara woman who gets her pregnant body cut open and have her fetus jumped on because they believe no Amhara should be born. Where was protect our women when our mothers' breasts were cut off by Tigray People's Liberation Front? Why didn't we speak for women when Amharas were forced into taking sterilization medication to stop the Amhara population from giving birth? The overall decline of fertility in Amhara National Regional State between 2000 and 2011 was the highest in Ethiopia. And in 2007, 3 to 5 million Amharas disappeared from the government's radar. Just a couple months ago, 600 plus Amharas were slaughtered on broad daylight at Maikadra, Western Tigray, November 9 of 2020. In March 5, 29 plus Amharas were slaughtered in Wedlaga, Oromia region. Then in the following day, 42 Amharas, including women and children, lost their lives by OLF in the exact same spot. It's been happening since 2017 of October. The only reason we're here today and not in a body bag somewhere is because we live in the comfort of our homes, while there's people for dying for sharing the same blood that runs to every part of our body. We are Amhara. We have the photo and witness reports. Anything you could ask for proof, yet Western media continues to ignore us. Our own government sponsors our killings. Who do our people have if not us? Killers will admit to the cannibalism they have committed on us. Record and post how they use their knife and arrow to take our kidneys out and how that makes them proud. They admit how they eat our flesh while keeping their dignity since 1992 because Amhara blood has become the perfect source for water. I guess this is what Dr. Abiy meant when he said, "I'll make it rain." So all we ask is to stop the Amhara genocide. Help us stop the Amhara genocide and help us raise awareness. Thank you.
Thank you, Fomi. Next up, we have Adele, who's also a young Ethiopian American who's been proudly advocating for the Amaras.
Being a proud Amara doesn't take away from being a proud Ethiopian. But silencing Amara with one love when we speak for our people has got old. Time and time again, we hear one Ethiopia, but how are we one Ethiopia when our people are dying? How are we one when Amaras are getting slaughtered, defenseless children getting slaughtered, and pregnant women getting slaughtered? Hundreds of people getting killed in a day, but we get to sit comfortably while they have to worry if they're going to get killed for being Amara or Christians. 5 million Amaras have gone missing. How is this possible for one Ethiopia? Help us get justice for the Amara mothers and children. Thank you.
The IG is dead. What is it?
ነገር ዝግጁ ነው። ሞራላችሁ እንዳይጎዳ በአማራነታችን አናፍርም፣ ወደ ኋላ አንልም። በኢትዮጵያዊነታችን ተሸብበን እንጂ በአማራነታችን የሚገሉን ከሆነ በአማራነታችን እንታገላለን። አይዟችሁ፣ ምንም ከዚህ በኋላ ወደ ኋላ ማለት የለም። ነፃነታችን እናስጠብቃለን። ፋኖ ዝግጁ ነው። ለሀገር ሰላም ተብሎ እንጂ ፋኖ ዝግጁ ነው።
I think
ከዚህ በኋላ የምናደርገው በቀጥታ ወደ ማርችን ከመሄዳችን በፊት ወንድማችን ጸጋ ወደዚህ ካለ ጸጋ ሲንገር ጸጋ ወደዚህ ካለ አንድ እንጉርጉሮ በደልና በቀጥታ ወደ ማርቺንግ ነው የምንሄደው። get ready everybody። ከዚህ ቀጥሎ ደግሞ እዛ ሌላ ሴሬሞኒ አለን። ያ በጣም የተለያዩ ዝግጅቶች እዛ ስላሉ ስፔስ ሄደን ነው የምንሄደው። ሁላችንም ኮሞኒውስ የተለያዩ ሚዲያዎች እዛ we hope they waiting for us so አሁን ከአጠገቤ የሚገኘው ወንድማችን ጸጋ ይባላል። በተለያዩ የሙዚቃ ስራዎቹ የሚታወቅ ነው። በተለይ ወገኖችን በማስታወስ በተለያዩ ክሊፖች የራሱን ስራ በመድረስም በማቀናበርም ዜማዎችን በማዘጋጀትም ጭምር ሁልጊዜ ከጎናችን አይለይ። አንድ የሞራል እሺ
ዛሬ ትሆናል በጣም ተደስቻለሁ። በዓለማችን ላይ ፖለቲካውን ኢኮኖሚንም እየተቆጣጠሩ ያሉ ሀገሮች ከዚህ ካነስ ህዝብ ተነስተው ጀምረው ነው ትልቁ ደረጃ የደረሱት። እመኑኝ የአማራን ችግር ሌላ ቦታ የማንም ቦታ የትኛውም ስቴት የትኛውም ሀገር ሳንሄድ እኛ እዚህ ያለነው ብቻ ለውጥ ማምጣት እንችላለን። ይታያችኋል። አሁን ያለነው ዳውንታውን ሲያረር ነው። ዳውንታውን ሲያረር ይህ ሁሉ ህንፃ እዚህ ቦታ ላይ የኔ አሻራ አለበት። ታክስ ከፋይ ነኝ። ስለዚህ አሜሪካን ገቨርንመንት አንድ ነገር ማድረግ እንዲያደርግ እኛ መታገል ከትግል ነው ነገሩ የሚጀምረው። አሁን ሬስ አስቀምጠን ማልቀስ አይደለም። የአማራ ስነልቦና የምናለቅስበት ጊዜ ሳይሆን የምንሰራበት ጊዜ ስራ ዛሬውን እንጀምር። ፔቲሽን ፈርም። መንግስት አማራ ላይ እያደረገ ያለውን ነገር እንዲያቆም እርምጃ እንጀምር። በነገራችን ላይ አንድ ነገር ልጨምርላችሁ። ህወሓት ለረጅም ጊዜ በኢትዮጵያ ላይ ስፔሻሊ በአማራው ህዝብ ላይ ያደረገው ነገር ሲገባ ሁላችንም አክቲቪስት ሁላችንም